are going to introduce you to three mystery personalities. And what you need to do is just listen carefully to them and open up your spirit and try to guess which of the seven modal excellences that they belong to. And by listening, not only listening to what they say, but also how they say it. You can also use body language. You can also use spiritual discernment. You can cheat. You can ask God to give you the answer. Sometimes I do that. But there are telltale signs in every situation where you can actually read a person like a book. And my sort of standard would be that once a trained diagnostician, you should take around 5 minutes or 10 minutes to more or less eliminate 5 or 6, 5 if possible, 6 of the modalities. This may be very new to you, but you can get all the information in the Discord server, and this is our mod server. And this is where also you will get an opportunity to meet the coaches and the guidance counselors and also one another and ask questions and look at announcements. There'll be notifications about job openings and also fresh perspective videos, research that has been conducted in the various different capsules. And these will be areas of specialization that our coaches and our researchers, teachers, and mentors will be populating with information. So it'll be fully operational within 2 weeks when we conduct the training in entrepreneurship. And of course, one of the trainers is actually the first mystery personality. So I'm not going to say very much more than that, but except to say that there will be spot prize winners today, and that money will be Gcash to you. And let's go over to Nazelle now to share a little bit on this immediate today's competition. Go ahead, Nazelle.
Good afternoon, everyone. These are the mechanics of our games this afternoon. You are going to guess, napakasimple lang nito. I-guess nyo lang kung ano yung modality ng speaker. Either base dun sa tinuro kanina ni Pastor Gerard. So, ito yung possible na maging sagot sa kanila. Discover. Kung ang modality niya ay discover, serve, enable, lead, teach, give, and rescue. Ayun yung 7 modalities na pagpipilian nyo. Tapos, wait. Ang gagawin nyo pa, isusulat nyo yung sagot nyo. Once na i-flash namin yung kung sino yung, after kasi ng speaker, i-guess nyo siya kung ano yung modality niya. Mag-start lang kayong mag-type. After na mag-type ako ng start dun sa chat group, sa chat room natin na start. So that's the time na makakount lang yung tamang sagot. So kung nag-type kayo ahead, hindi yun counted. So mag-start lang kami ng pag-count after nung go signal ko na start. So yung first 5 correct answers, sila yung makaka-receive ng worth 200 Gcash or e-load. Tapos yung 6 to 10 na correct answers, magka-qualify sa mods Ediesta. Pero yung 1 to 5 per speaker to so for every speaker, mayroon tayong 5 winners ng 200 pesos, GCash or e-load, and 10 winners for Mods Idiesta. Ibig sabihin magka-qualify kayo dun sa Mods Idiesta. So, since na mayroon tayong tatlo, mayroon tayong ngayong 15 winners na ina-expect para dun sa worth 200, so that would be 3,000 pesos all in all. At 30 students para dun sa Mods Idiesta. So, explain ko ulit yung Mods Idiesta, no? Ay, magagawa lang kayo ng idea doon. You will submit business or social ideas, business proposals, and then we will mag-i-invite sila Pastor Gerard ng mga funders or capitalists. Pag nagustuhan nila yung idea nyo, yung proposal nyo, yung business idea nyo na yon, ifa-fund nila yon. So guys, ito hindi to personal nyo lang. You can ask help dun sa mga professors nyo, sa mga dyan sa community nyo na sa tingin nyo na makakatulong sa inyo para maging viable tong ideas na to at magustuhan ng mga investors na i-invite nila Pastor Gerard. And one of whom na magdi-discuss sa atin ngayon is si Sir Ang. So yun ngayon. Ito pa lang ano na to, and ang schedule ng para dun sa Mods Idiesta training, kasi tuturuan din kayo kung paano siya gagawin at kung paano nyo pagagandahin yung ano nyo sa July 14. So after na to ng final exam nyo. So talagang we make sure na makaka-relax din kayo bago kayo makapag magkaroon kayo ng idea na din, time na makapag-research na dun sa mga research proposal nyo. Especially dito to sa mga management and business administration. Ito yung mga forte nyo guys. Ito na yung time para yung nasa mind nyo, ma-put into a reality. Malay nyo, ito yung maging dream come true nyo. So yun, again, mayroon tayong 5 winners para dun sa 200, and per quiz at 10 lahat para to qualify, 10 persons para ma-qualify dun sa Mods Idiesta. So total of 30 sa Mods Idiesta. Naintindihan po ba? Just in case, type nyo lang sa chat group para ma-explain ulit. Doon ko sa inyo mapaliwanag ulit. Thank you. Would you like to know kung sino yung mga nanalo last time?
Sure. Go ahead.
Oh.
Is it okay? I did have a print screen of what you posted just a while ago.
Actually, I have it here.
Okay.
Ayan. Ito yung mga 15 na nanalo ng 200 cash, GCash or e-load. Kasi kung wala silang GCash, e-load po yung binibigay natin. So, sila yon. Mabilisan na lang. And then, ito yung nag-qualify ngayon dun sa Mod Idiesta. Bali, yung 15 automatic qualified na sila dun sa Mod Idiesta. So nadagdagan lang siya ng 16 to 21. Supposedly, dapat talaga 30 students. Pero dahil ayan lang yung tumama, so kaya 21 lang siya. I just don't know kung i-allow nila na kung merong magpapasok ngayon para mapunan to na slot na to. Later on siguro i-announce namin. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, thanks, Nazelle. All right, we'll go to our first mystery personality. Listen carefully. This section is going to be sort of freestyle. So we're just going to, David, you're just going to go ahead and share with us what's any information about yourself that might give clues to your elemental modality. Okay, sometimes when you are listening to a person, you must make the difference between his gift and his calling, between the elemental man and the consequential armor. So it's something like, if you can pass me that marker over there, let me illustrate it to you using a felt tip marker. If you see, let's say, for example, you have a marker, right? This is a felt tip marker. What you need to do is make the difference between the ink, the color of the ink here, and the cap itself. So there's a difference between the marker, this marker here. Don't think you can see it because of the virtual background, but maybe if I put it here, you can see it. All right, there's a difference between this, the part that makes the ink come out, which is the elemental part of the pen, and the cap. The cap is to keep the ink dry and or rather to keep the ink in good condition. And that's what a job is, okay? A job is this thing here, this cap. And remember what we said, you can get fired from your job, but you can never be fired from your elemental personhood, okay? This part you were born with. And it's this part that I want you to identify from the 7 different color bands. Okay, this one happens to be purple, but there are 7 of them. Okay, so if you're ready, let's go with that. And David, over to you.
Thank you, Pastor Jerry. A big mabuhay and congratulations to the winners. Today, it's not difficult to find out my modality because I'm one who don't keep a lot of secrets. But I'm happy to share with you this afternoon on who I am. At least maybe to tell you the picture you saw just now was actually me, but maybe like 15 years ago where I still have my black hair and less wrinkles on my face. But that was the same David Ang. So as a matter of introduction, mabuhay to our Filipino friends from Singapore. So glad to spend this afternoon with you. I really like Philippines. At one time, I was almost traveling to Philippines like almost monthly. I was managing Southeast Asia for a international water company, and we owned 2 water plants in Philippines, one in Bonifacio and another one in Clark. For some of you who know Bonifacio and Clark, they are beautiful places. But beyond just the beauty of the place, I mean, Bonifacio has been very modern, right? If you have been there. But I really like the people, and in general, I really appreciate the culture, the style, the personality of what the Philippines culture brings. But by and large, I'm one person who really like people, and you can give me the best wine, the best Ceylon steak, the best food in the world, but it is always the people that I dine with that matter the most. So people is in the center of my heart. And that's why I really love my family too. I'm happily married to Amy for 25 years. We celebrated our 25th anniversary last December. We've got 3 wonderful kids and lovely, love them a lot. And basically, this is my family. The 3 children are 23, 19, and 17. What do I do for a living? Up to maybe like 4 years ago, I was in a corporate setting working for people. But since 3 years ago, I've decided to come and kind of run my own business. So I have a setup called Zion Investment. Zion, as some of you may know, it is a name in the Christian Bible, also and in the Catholic Bible. And it is a city of David. And this is a name and a place that God has put very dearly in my heart, and it's Zion Investment. Within this investment are some investments which the family has put in for mainly 3 things. Number 1, investment in enterprises that we believe that will grow and benefit the society. Number 2, as a form of our livelihood income for the returns that it's generating. Number 3, it is a place where we put in money to help some enterprises that could be at a startup phase, that could be at a funding phase, but enterprises that we believe that could bring a benefit to the society. And that's what I do, just managing the portfolio. Currently, I'm helping up another enterprise as a startup, as an interim CEO, but it's only interim. So basically, that's what I do. In my corporate life, I used to be the managing director of a international water company that looks after Southeast Asia. So I have, there are about 7 countries, active countries within my portfolio, running about 1,500 employees within the management. And Philippines is one of them, and that is why I was a lot in Philippines in my past life, running that multi-corporation. And again, I think looking back, what that made my job successful has been accorded that compliment by my bosses was the ability to manage, to organize, and to rally resources to get certain things done. I'm a chartered accountant, so there's very little room for me to articulate some technical or engineering solutions for water. But what that made me successful in my role was I was able to pick on the brains. I was able to work with. I was able to rally resources with people who had those specific specialty. In a past life, I also was involved in a technology startup as a CEO. At one time, the technology of the startup that was in the incubation when I was the CEO was the most advanced LED lights technology at that time. It is more advanced than the top brands that we see in Europe and in China, such as Philips and other brands in China. That was an exciting route. We had the chief scientist of Singapore government investing in it. And this is the other thing that I found that I really like doing. I really like to think, imagine about the future, possibilities of breaking new frontiers in technology, in science, and in the different fields of studies to bring about new possibilities of product services into the world. Not so much for the sake of it, or not so much for the money part of it, but because I believe there are many hidden and latent ideas, talents, innovation that is still unearthed up to today, and many more to come. And that is why I was intrigued. I was totally into this job when I did as a CEO of a technology startup. So that's what I really like to do: bring resources, bring people to break new frontiers, because there's so much possibilities to make the world a better place with these new ideas. I mean, imagine. I was one time, back when I was 20s, I was just traveling in a plane. I said, how nice if I could send an email when I reached the airport terminal. And that was impossibility at that time. But 20 years down the road, 30 years down the road, that happens at a snap of a finger. That has made things more efficient, make life a bit better for people. And if you extrapolate, there are many more things that is to come in the days ahead. Like for today, I mean, I do not need to, barring COVID, I do not need to take a plane to Capiz to meet all of you. And something like this, Zoom technology like this, makes all the communication across the boundaries highly possible, and even, in fact, quite real. So that's what I really like, and I think there's still so much ideas that's still unearthed up to today. A part of my life is really serving the community, and part of it is in the church community. So I'm the chairman of the Board of Family Life in the Methodist Church of Singapore, the Chinese part of it. Just rallying the churches together to promote the quality of family bonding, family relationship. Because as a person that believes in people, I believe the first place of cultivation of good character, nurturing starts from the family. We can have the best schools, and I don't question schools, universities plays an important role, but the basic foundation is really the family. And that is why I was happy to take up this role. Also, I chair the Methodist Fathers Movement because I believe to really make a family work, the father, being the head of the household, must first act. And this movement is really about asking fathers to take on their rightful leadership role at home so as to provide a nurturing, cultivating environment for children to grow up well in. And thus, when children grow up well in, children will have a higher chance to be good adults. And when you have a higher chance to be a good adult, you'll have a higher chance to be a citizen that contributes and further the good causes in a society, be it in the sphere of technology, education, what have you, but just in any field that you are predisposed to. And that is why you're attending this modality course, what you're predisposed to, right? The other part of me is really in the area of building, cultivating entrepreneurship. As I alluded, I believe that there's so much ideas, so much unearthed ideas in the world today. I have founded a school called the Academy of Community Entrepreneurship. And basically, I believe that this school is to help people, dreamers, people with good ideas to turn them to reality. Because the good ideas can only be good when they are operationalized and become something that people can see and touch. And this is behind the ethos of turning a belief into a blessing. Some of us, we believe in different things. Some of you, we believe that we should cool down the weather because there's global warming. Some of you believe that we should save the animal. Some of you believe that there should be no homelessness in the world. Some of you believe that we should have the best rice in the world. Different ideas. But it's really to turn what you believe in into a reality, and thus that reality can be a blessing to the people who either consume it or who are invested in it. And this school, this academy is really to promote that idea, helping people with ideas to journey with people with ideas so that they can bring the ideas into reality. So that is what I do. That's my passion. And I've got one or two other things that I do. I chair the finance committee of the Trinity Theological College, which is the number one theological college in Singapore. That's jointly owned by the Methodist, Lutheran, Presbyterian, and the Anglicans. I play the role as a finance chairman, finance committee chairman, and I look after the investment of the reserves of the college. We have students from Philippines in this college too. So basically that sums up what I am and what I do. So thank you very much for the attention for the past few minutes. Over to you, Pastor Jerry.
Okay, David, let me ask a question just to follow up. Why are you interested in helping Capiz State University? What are you getting out of this?
Basically, two things. I can't speak Chinese. I can't speak Malay. So, speaking to a country with English language is so much easier for me. So, okay, but that's joke aside. Helping people, regardless of their nationality, their age, or even where they are in their education level, is very close to my heart. Because I believe that every human has a deep reservoir of talents, gifts, and good things. If you like, call it character, goodwill. That's just waiting to emerge. Well, this is quite regardless of your academic results, what your parents say of you, what social media try to say of you, even what your teachers try to say of you. There is a goal. There is a goal in everybody. And my motto in life is to help identify, search out what is that goal in your life. Goal as in G-O-L-D. And that is why I felt this is a platform where we can do that, regardless whether you're from CAPIS or not. But thanks for the privilege of having the CAPIS students here. You are the molder and the shaper of the next generation.
Okay, another question I have is, okay, we're going to have this Shark Tank, right? And what are you looking for in projects that may be potentially candidates for receiving funding? What is one thing that you're going to be looking at when students present ideas in this Ideasta?
If there's one thing that I look for, it is this. It is an idea that can bring about a real, authentic change in mankind, a real and authentic improvement and enhancement in the world today. It may sound cliche, but some of these ideas that has been tested and tried before did not really have the effect, and some do. There's one criteria I would say that it is a belief that is really turned into authentic, real, and meaningful blessings for mankind.
Okay, so in other words, that's going to bring about some positive transformation somehow in a community. Any clues as to, just in case there are people listening, either here during this actual live Zoom call, or whether they're listening in the lounge, in the mod server lounge? There may be some students from other faculties, like yesterday's faculty, that wouldn't be able to hear you today, or indeed tomorrow's faculty, the different ones from the various satellite campuses. Any hints or clues as to the kinds of ideas you're looking for, or the kinds of projects that you're looking for?
Yeah, so when we say a project or idea that can make a meaningful and authentic change, I believe it's always related to the contextual circumstances. So, for example, what will be a good idea in a local community like where you live in? So it really depends on what is a contextual need or gap that your local community are facing. Some people can invent the fastest car. They can invent a car that goes at the speed of a plane. But is that relevant in your local community? So I believe that the valuation of what is authentic and real is a contextualized idea. It must be relevant, useful in plugging some gaps within your local community, first and foremost. Not saying that it will not go, that you cannot have an idea that is applicable for overseas, but let's start from home. What are the needs? What are the gaps? What are the things that is amiss within your community? Look at them and conceive a certain idea.
So even indigenous ideas, like how to harvest the oyster in a more efficient way, is something like that? Something that's happening around Rojas City, around Capiz, around Panay Island itself? Is that, when you say contextualization, what is your definition of that?
Yeah. Now, I think, Pastor Jerry, you gave a very good example. Something that is very close to home, which means that your learning curve will be a lot less. Something that is immediately known, that's immediately, instinctively understood by the stakeholders. So yeah, in a situation like harvesting oysters in the place where you are, in the place where the students are, is actually very, very relevant. I do not know enough of the place you are to identify what are the different needs, but look around. There is so much things that you can do to make your community, your place a better place. That's my point.
You know, when I was in Panay Island in Iloilo, I noticed in the house that I stayed, there was a strange creature that made a sound in the middle of the night, like tuku, tuku, like that, something like that. And when I looked, it was this sort of like a salamander-like creature that had very, very big eyeballs. And so are you saying that maybe we could catch this animal and sort of extract something that could be healing of cancer or something like that? Are you saying, would it be permissible for this intrepid discoverer to, you know, of this poultice or something that you could put on a boil and heal something? Would it be okay for them to go around the house to house and collect all the tokos and then sort of create a lab in the back of their farmhouse? Is that what you're looking for?
I think so. I mean, something that's quite available in terms of your raw materials. Why not? Yeah. And even as I look at geography of where you are, it is an island surrounded by water. Is a marine industry a possibility? It is a seaside resort a possibility? A seaside resort with a difference. You know, the Balis of the world, the Phukets of the world are flourishing because they have the advantage of being beside the sea. Why not a place where you are? Just an example.
Yeah, I think Nazelle, you have a very good point. If the tokok is an endangered species, then better not to violate any Philippine national laws. But if they are so plentiful and they're not considered pets, but let's say they're considered pests, then that might be different. You know, just like in Australia, the kangaroo can be considered not really as a pet, but it could be, if in too many numbers, it could be a pest, could be considered as a pest. But you'd have to check into local laws and stuff like that. I also noticed that, you know, in the countryside, they have a lot of buffalo taxis, or you know, farmers use buffaloes as
Carabao.
as a mode of transportation as well. So, you know, there's lots of wildlife out there. There's lots of mechanisms that need to be improved, I think. So what we're looking for are contextualized solutions to problems that farmers face. I believe Capiz State University has an agricultural aspect to the curriculum as well. And I would imagine, you know, growing a better rice crop or being able to eliminate rats in a field or something like that, you know, without using chemical poisons and all of that. Just wondering, I know in Indonesia, there was a Christian entrepreneur who solved a huge problem for the Indonesian government by introducing owls. In Israel as well, they introduced owls to kill the rats that were eating up the harvest. And lo and behold, these Israeli owls ate up all the rats in the Israeli property, and then they went and flew into the Palestinian property and started eating the Palestinian rats. And the Palestinian farmers were so happy that they got together with the Israeli farmers and made peace and talked about owls instead of killing one another, you know, and fighting each other. They became friends. So there might be many knock-on effects in a good idea. What are your thoughts about how this could start a movement, perhaps even in terms of ideas.
Okay. Movement starts with passion and enthusiasm and belief. And I think even as a school, if you feel that this is something which will be helpful for the community and the society, there can be some deliberate building up of infrastructure to do that. Maybe, for example, like an incubation, entrepreneur incubation center, or an entrepreneur course in your school, and just for people to think about two things: trigger their thoughts through those avenues, and number two, to let them know that if they should want to venture into this, there's some level of support from the school, and then you will see factory of ideas just generating, and even if you have maybe a small percentage of those ideas working, it will already bring about a good benefit to the society. But most importantly, it could have the potential of starting a certain movement. So you kind of project that 10 years down the road, you will flood you will flood the place with so many good ideas and thus so many good blessings.
Okay, so students, if you intend to participate in the Shark Tank training, even if you don't win anything today, that's fine. You're still very welcome. Get into the mods community server, and we will get more information to you on when that training will be, obviously after your finals. And that training will be conducted by David and Alex from Australia as well. So over to you, Nizelle, and you want to explain the mechanics and how you want to do this thing.
Okay. Dumako po tayo dun sa games natin. Excited na po ba lahat dun sa games? Excited na ba? Pakitype na lang #excited. Okay. Sabi ko nga kanina, magkakaroon tayo ng 5 winners. For this time, i-guess nyo kung anong modality ni Sir David Ang. Magta-type lang kayo after kung what do you call that? Makapagsulat ng start sa chat group. Okay, wag na nating patagalayan. Start na po. Keep on guessing.
Wow. Wow. Wow.
Sige po, guess po kayo. Remember, mayroon po kayong 200 pesos. Yung first 5 po And then yung sa 6 to 10,
Wow.
makaka-receive po na, makakasama po sa Mods Ediesta.
Wow. Wow. Eh? How come this? Wow.
How come this?
This batch, huh? Wow. No, coaches are not allowed to participate, please. Juliet, sorry. They're so excited. Okay, when we reach, have we reached already? Flora Jane is a candidate for one of our coaches as well. She's saying start. She's so excited. She said start. Okay, everybody start, including me. Good job, Flora. Thanks.
This time, di na natin kailangan na no? Kasi madami nang binigay kanina ang Mods TV na clue.
Oppo F7, can you please rename yourself so we
Rename.
know, so that we can award you?
Okay. Ilan na lahat? Okay, this time, tapos na po yung para sa first guest natin na quiz. So, I'll type ko na lang ng close.
Thank you.
So, okay, we have now the winners. Nakakuha na po tayo ng first 10 and the 5.
Have we got all the winners already?
Yes, Pastor,
Wow,
back to you.
this batch are very studious. They must have listened to everything I said this morning. Amazing compared to yesterday's batch. I mean, they took a hard. Maybe I taught better today because it's a second day. Okay, all right then. Oh, okay. Dr. Shirley is in already, and we have our second mystery personality. Mystery personality. Shirley, do you just want to talk, or oh, that's cute. Do you want to talk, or do you want to play the video first, or
Yeah, I think you can play the video first.
play the video first? Okay, let me do that right now. What I'll have to do is I'll have to share my screen. Let me see if I can share my screen here. Yeah, okay. Okay, can you see my screen there? Yeah, okay. Let's see.
So, do you want an internationally recognized qualification that would open doors to a better life? The problem is, often the fees are too high and the classes too inconvenient to attend. Well, imagine a place that is cost-effective, allows you to study at your own pace, and is led by top teachers and award-winning entrepreneurs.
Hi, I'm Dr. Shirley Tan, CEO and founder of Universal Business Academy, UBA. Our mission is to offer high-quality, affordable,